Bristow, Fox 35 News.
And let's break down today's events with our power panel right now. Diana Tennis and Lawrence Walters. Larry, is there a kind of a courtship going on right now? Well, I want to talk about the levity that happened today. Is now the time when the attorneys kind of pal up with whoever's going to be on this jury so, they're more receptive come trial time?
Absolutely, Bob. This is an opportunity for the attorneys to try to develop a rapport with the jurors, potential jurors, to try to let them in on their personality, to try to establish that relationship so that ultimately when the attorneys stand up there and announce what they believe the evidence and the facts are, that the jurors will be more receptive to them.
And Diana, Bernie took, 5 hours the entire day today. Mark has to go tomorrow. Is that an inordinate amount of time, and does that hinder or help Mark O'Mara?
Well, I don't know if it's an inordinate amount of time. It certainly seemed like a sufficient amount of time. It does nothing but help Mark O'Mara. Not only was Bernie DeLoranda the opening act, he got the place kind of warmed up. He got people used to talking. He also got a lot of the boring details, demographic information out of the way, so that Mark O'Mara, probably spending all night working on this, is going to be able to go in and hone in on the jurors that he is most concerned about, the jurors that he wants struck for cause, if at all possible, and to really figure out who in there is going to be open to the defense.
Larry, what about some of these questions? They seem like some that might have been asked in the first. Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever known anybody to be involved in a violent crime? That should have come out in the first one, shouldn't it?
Well, the judge put some very specific restrictions on the first round of questioning in order to eliminate jurors purely on their pretrial publicity exposure. And so now we have a second round of questioning, which is more traditional, which will ask the probing questions about arrests and interactions with the legal system. Possible questions, something like, what bumper stickers do you have on your car, or what are your favorites on your web browser, just to try to get in the minds of the juror and see how they think.
And Diana, talk to me about this one juror who was singled out. Is that unusual? Because his concerns seem to be the concerns I would think that all the other jurors would have.
Well, it's certainly true that any time a juror said, I've got things I want to talk to you about in private, that is respected. And usually that has to do with some sort of prior drug arrest or something juicy in their own past. In this particular situation, I think it's noteworthy that he wanted to talk privately about his concerns, financial, safety, his family. He's apparently been looking for himself on the internet related to this case. So I think all of that taken together has probably raised a sufficient concern about his ability to sit through this trial and not be too paranoid about what might happen to him.
Larry, I think I heard Mark say the trial is going to start on Monday. Is it going to start on Monday?
You never know with judicial proceedings, but assuming that things go as planned and they whittle this jury down and exercise their strikes and identify the right jurors, I think that there's a reasonable likelihood that the trial could begin on Monday.
Diana, does he not have to ask these same questions again? Has he been taking notes the entire time and go faster tomorrow?
It is definitely going to go faster. It's going to be more pointed. This is a numbers game. I am very concerned about us getting a jury out of this panel with this small a number without somebody agreeing not to use all of their peremptories. That would be very unusual in a big case like this. But if we can't manage to get 6 + 4 out of this panel of 40, that means we start over with some individual voir diring on, Friday or Monday.
But very quickly, Mark wants his time with the jury as well to do his quote-unquote courtship, right?
Certainly. Yeah, but I just don't think it's going to take this long.
Okay. Larry, Diana, always good to get your opinion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
All right, you can get all